Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. So on my blog, I share how I made my fortune in real estate, buying one property at a time. I've got a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's been a bestseller on Amazon and Kindle. And today we're going to talk about Phase 2 environmental studies. They're kind of a necessary evil at times. I say this because they're expensive, anywhere from $14,000 to $20,000 on average. They can be more if it's a bigger property. For something that's, say under 20,000 square feet, my experience has been $12,000 to $20,000. So today you're going to see just what that entails. I'm going to take you on to a property that I'm buying and where this is being performed. Hey, before we get into the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Helps my channel, lets me know I'm doing the right thing. Now, let's get into the video. Today, I'm having a environmental 2 performed where they actually are going to take this auger and they're going to bore down through the concrete. They're going to do a couple of test holes in a couple of areas that are suspect to having contaminants from oil and gas and that kind of machinery. But this part of the process and clearing this property that I'm buying, it's a necessary contingency. So this is a building I'm buying, and but before I can make myself comfortable with this, I want to make sure that it's clear and financeable by another bank behind me. I'm paying cash for this, but I may finance it or refi it later on. So that's a hole we've already filled.
And this is a bent knot.
Yeah.
What it does is it seals off, nothing to go down in there.
Oh, okay.
Where we made that hole.
Gotcha.
See these chips? You can take them, get them wet, and squish them together and make a patty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bent knot. It seals off. Like if you got a pond or something that's leaking, you can throw this out there and seal the bottom of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
But you would want to get the powder, not the chips. They make a powder too.
So do they react, other than they just they swell or glue themselves to each other?
Yeah, they get real sticky.
When the concrete goes over the top of that.
Yeah, I usually put more concrete than what was there, just to make sure that I make it better than what it was when I got here. Cool. The patch don't look as good as it did, but it's a patch. Like if we would have found water here, we would have run pipe in there and they'd have got water samples.
Wow.
But we got refusal about 7.5 foot.
What does that mean? Oh, you mean
it wouldn't go no more.
So you hit hard.
Yeah. Limestone, whatever it was, bedrock.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So if there's any water, it's going to be on top of that.
Gotcha. And you didn't hit it, so it's clear.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, I don't know what he got with his samples. He took all that dirt. He'll send it to the lab.
And then see what they say?
Yeah.
Basically just a big impact driving machine that pounds a hole, basically. It doesn't really screw. It's not a drill or an auger. It just pounds its way through and takes a sample, first of the concrete, all the way through the concrete, down, and they keep going down through the dirt until they hit a surface layer that's so hard they can't penetrate. So basically bedrock. The rig sits up here. Okay. Okay, so you cut through the concrete with that, and then at what point, how do you start getting your core samples? You pound down a sleeve or cylinder?
This here. This shoe.
Okay.
And then these here, they slide inside. And you see how the end of it's kind of like a Chinese finger?
Oh, yeah. So just
whatever you hammer it in there, it pulls the sample inside.
Oh, I see. So the deeper you get, you grab another sample every 5 feet in this case, right? 5 feet. All right, so you can see they slit the sleeve open. This is a plastic sleeve that you see right here. They shove that in the tube, probe gets shoved down, it fills that sleeve, and then they can pull just a nice clean sleeve out, send it to the laboratory to be inspected, and this would be the core sampling that you see right there, and that could be at different depths. So we're gonna go over and take a look at the auger work they're doing now. There's an area around this side of the property that has some concerns of oil penetration maybe into the ground. You can see the guys back here. It's probably just compressors and things and that's what they're concerned about. So you saw that big rig, but it's a tractor rig, but they still got fencing to deal with. So he's got to manually turn this thing into the ground, all his weight. Wow. I'm guessing you're going to stop before you hit bedrock, right?
Oh, yeah. We're hitting rock about between 4 and 7 feet anyway, so.
And right now what you're doing is this is the beginning of this core sample. From the top, you layer up the levels?
So this is the top foot, and I'm taking, a good chunk out of that top foot, putting it on ice. And then,
oh, you're actually putting it on ice?
Yeah, I put each foot on ice, and then I take a little bit in these baggies, and I break it up a little bit, so you get some, if there's anything in there, you let it volatilize.
Oh, can I take a peek at that little baggie?
Yep.
Okay, so you just got a small sample inside a plastic bag.
And then we use this thing, it's called a photoionization detector. And we stick it in here, and if there's any volatilization in the airspace here, we'll pick it up and record it and take the interval with the highest PID reading. So if there's any kind of like petroleum compounds, solvents, stuff like that, it should read it. Also, decaying organic matter can kind of set it off too, and water vapor. So it's not, it's not giving you any kind of real quantitative thing that we put in a report. It's just kind
indicator.
It's an indicator, right?
I got you. And do you know what the thought process is? Because I see you got a white circle around here
So
that went into picking this spot.
Because we wanted to do one on groundwater gradients up this way. So we wanted to do something kind of down gradient of all the operations inside.
Okay, so the water flows this way, so
right,
with the contaminants.
Right, but since there's such shallow rock, the water is flowing along there, but there's not really a shallow water table around here.
Gotcha. So I pretty much figured this was going to be pretty clean, and it looks like it is. The guy that you saw earlier, the guy said he didn't see anything that looked out of the ordinary. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's just like I said, it's kind of a necessary evil. You got to make sure it's clear. My experience is I've really never had a bad one. I've had a phase 1 lead to a phase 2, like in this case, but I've never had a phase 2 lead to a phase 3. Now I have looked at buying properties that led to, they called for beyond a phase 2, and the banks wouldn't even finance them. And so it's just part of what you run into, and I hope you enjoyed that. I know it wasn't so detailed, but I don't need to know necessarily everything about it. I just know that it's an expense that comes into play when I'm buying commercial property and industrial property where there have been a business that handles chemicals. So thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.